Hello, fourth graders. This is Mr. Knowles, and this is a special assignment for you where you're going to use Google Slides to do some math problems involving using tape diagrams to solve story problems involving tenths and fractions and decimals. So, some things you'll need to know before we get started. You'll need to know how to use the snipping tool on your Google Chromebook or laptop or computer. For a Chromebook, I believe if you press and hold the Shift Control and this button up here, it looks like multiple screens, you'll be able to take a picture or on your Chromebook. And I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. The other thing you'll need to know is how to find Thinking Blocks website. And to get to the Thinking Blocks website, it's really on a different website called mathplayground.com. So when you go there, you have to search and find it, but there's a section called Thinking Blocks. And if you click on it, and you're going to find, sometimes you get these ads, I have to get rid of those, the Thinking Blocks tool, which is located over in the lower right here. And I'm going to click on that. And there's another ad. And I'll show you how to use this tool in a little bit. Another thing you might want to know how to do is take a photo on your Chromebook, and we'll talk more about that as we get into some of the math problems that I'm going to model for you. So again, you'll need to know how to do a snipping tool or take a picture of part of your screen. You'll need to be able to access Thinking Blocks, which is at the mathplayground.com website. Or you might want to be able to know how to take a picture using your Chromebook or your computer. Let's do example problem number 1. Yesterday, Ben's bamboo plant grew 5/10 of a centimeter. Today, it grew another 8/10 centimeter. How many centimeters did Ben's bamboo plant grow in 2 days? Write your answer as a decimal. So there's already a tape diagram here, and I did that for you just so you have a model of what one looks like. The first couple problems will have a model for you. I am going to use the Thinking Blocks website to make a tape diagram that will look something like that. So I'm up here, I have 2 tabs open, my Google Slides tab and my Thinking Blocks tab. So I'm just going to click on that. And now I'm on the Thinking Blocks website. I'm going to go back and see what that looks like. You might want to draw this first on paper using paper pencil, just so you have an idea. So I actually have drawn mine. So down here, I'm going to take one of these rectangles, and you can actually stretch it out, make it longer, shorten it, whatever you want to do. And I'm going to click on a different one down below in this toolbar. And then I'm going to click on this paint palette, change the color, and bring in a different one. And if I go back, I see that one is 5/10 and one is 8/10. So my 5/10, I want that to be a little, I'm going to break those apart. I want the 5/10 one to be a little shorter because I know that that is shorter. And then these actually kind of snap together. All right, so I have my 2 blocks. Now I have to label those blocks. So down here, there's this little thing, and you can stretch it and shorten it. So I'm going to make it the same length of that block, and that's going to be my 5/10. And I'm going to bring a label, and I'm going to type, this is in decimals, by the way, 5, and if you forget, I'm going to go back. It's in centimeters, so I'm going to call it 5/10 of a centimeter, or 0.5 centimeters. And I'm going to grab another one and put it right up against that one or super close. Stretch this out. And I'm going to label that. I'm going to call this 0.8 centimeters. And then I'm going to put another label up here, and that's the entire length of that. I'm going to go back to my slides and look at that diagram because we're trying to solve what that is all together. So this is an addition problem. We're trying to solve what that letter B is. Instead of using a B in mine, I'm going to use a question mark to represent what we're trying to solve. I'm going to put a question mark there. Now I'm going to remove this background graph paper or grid down below in the toolbar. Just click on that and it removes it. And here's where that snipping tool comes into play. So I'm going to press and hold Control Shift and that multi-screen button. And I'm going to make a rectangle around that, and it takes a picture for me. And I'm going to click on Copy to Clipboard. If you forget to do that, it's saved in your Chromebook as a download picture. And then I'm going to go back over here to my slide on this page, and I'm going to right click paste, and there it is. I can make it a little bigger. I think that's important so we can see it. Now I'm going to move over to the side here. And now I'm going to get rid of this diagram because I don't need it anymore as a reference. Make this a little bigger. Okay, so it looks like I have to add 5/10 and 8/10 of a centimeter. And I've done this on paper already. So now what I would like to do, excuse me, is add a text box. Because we're also going to put our answers in. So I click on the text box tool up here and click here. And this text box pops up. Now this is really big, so you're going to want to shrink it so it fits on your page. And I'm going to type answer, colon, and then I'm going to write a sentence that explains my answer. Ben's bamboo plant grew 1.3 or 1 3/10 centimeters cm in 2 days. We're going to write a full complete sentence for our answer. And let's make that big enough so Mr. Knowles or Mrs. Christensen can read it. So make it a little bigger. It doesn't have to be giant, but just make it bigger. So I have completed this problem. This is what you're going to do with your assignment is make a tape diagram, solve the problem, probably on paper and pencil, and then type in your answer in a complete sentence. But let's say you aren't really fond of that Thinking Blocks website. You don't want to build it like that. Well, another way you could do this is draw this on paper and take a picture and insert it. So I have already done that. So I'm going to hit insert an image from my computer. It's thinking, and you'll see there it is. There's a picture I took, a picture I drew, I should say. So I'm going to put it in there. Okay, there it is on paper. So I'm going to delete this now. And again, I'm going to type my answer. So I'm going to select a text box. Just click anywhere on the slide. And one comes up. Shorten it so it does not extend over the slide. And type answer, colon, Ben's bamboo plant grew 1.3 centimeters in 2 days. Or you could say the past 2 days, however you want to phrase it. It's kind of small, so I'm going to highlight it and up here make it a little bigger. So that is a complete problem. You have a picture and you have an answer in the form of a sentence. Let's do one more. Example problem 2. Ed bought 4 pieces of salmon weighing a total of 2 kilograms. One piece weighed 4/10 of a kilogram, and 2 of the pieces weighed 5/10 kilogram each. What was the weight of the 4th piece of salmon? Write your answer as a decimal. So again, I left you a tape diagram as a model. You will erase that after you build your model. So I need to build this using decimals. So I'm going to go to Thinking Blocks tab up here. And to delete this, you can highlight it if you want. I think you hit the garbage can here and it deletes it. So I'm going to look at this carefully. It has 4 blocks. So I'm going to pull up 4 blocks. I'm going to change the color. So I'm just going to click on something different down here and then change the color. I like that color. And maybe this color. And then what I want you to see is that one of these we don't know. We don't know the 4th piece. So you could do a different color, but I'm gonna do this block. It's dotted and kind of empty to represent, hey, I don't know this missing piece. Okay, so I have 4/10, 5/10, 5/10, and then I don't know it. So see how I'm going back and forth, or you could sketch that out and then you wouldn't have to do that. So I'm going to need these little things here and try to line them up the best I can to represent the dimensions of those rectangles up above. You don't have to be perfect, but try to do the best you can to line them up. These are my labels, and 0.4 kilograms is kg. There were 2 that were 5/10 of a kilogram. And I have this one here. I don't know what that one is. That's what I'm trying to figure out. And then the entire weight of all 4, I forgot, so I'm going to go look. It's 2 kilograms. 2. I'm actually going to spell kilograms out because I have a lot of room there. And if you wanted the grid, you could use the grid. Just turn it on, turn it off. But for the picture part, I would take it off. Otherwise, it's going to look really busy. So I'm going to do my snipping tool. Make sure everything I want is inside the rectangle. Don't make it too big. And then I'm going to click on copy to clipboard. And then go here and paste. And now I have this. I don't need this anymore. The one that was there, I'm going to get rid of it. Make this larger. Keep it kind of on the left because I need to type an answer. So don't forget that typing of the answer part, that's really important. So I'm going to click on a text box. It's going to pop up and it goes beyond that side of the slide. So make sure it stays, dimensions stay inside the slide. click inside and type answer, and then hit a colon. That's the 2 dots. And you will have to solve this math problem, but I already know what the answer is. So I would say the weight of the 4th piece of salmon is 0.6 kilograms, period, or 0.6 of a kilogram. That's a little small. I'm going to highlight it, make that text a little bigger. And there we go. If you don't like using Thinking Blocks tool that's on that website, you can draw it on paper and take a picture and insert the picture. Remember that you also have to type a sentence that is your answer. So again, for the problems that you're doing for this math assignment, you're going to solve the problems. You're going to build a tape diagram that represents the problem, either using this Thinking Blocks tool or taking a picture. So you will have to sketch it out. You'll have to solve the problem and then also type your answer in a complete sentence, please, on the side. I hope that makes sense to all of you. So this will be a little bit of a challenge, but I think you'll really enjoy working on these math problems and putting them in a slide. If you have any questions, please ask me sooner than later. Thank you.